Hey, good morning, everybody. This is DGrant with Real Estate Broker Today. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of November, day after elections, and kind of waiting for the final tallies to come in to see who some of our new elected officials are going to be, or ones that will be reelected. But this morning, I wanted to kind of touch base on, you know, we're moving into the end of the fourth, or the end of the year. We're in the middle of the fourth quarter right now, and I always start this conversation at the end of October with my agents, my coaching clients on planning your business for the next year. So as we're moving into 2023, we've seen some shifts in our market. There's some things that you really need to look at. So I'm just going to give you a quick tip on some of the things that I talk about on maybe helping you formulate that plan. And if you are interested, I actually do a business plan workshop every year. This year it is going to be November 29th and November 30th, a 2-hour workshop each day. So 2 hours on the 29th from 10 to noon and 2 hours on the 30th from 10 a.m. to noon, and that is Pacific time. So if you'd like to come into my office and join our agents, you're more than welcome, or it will be also broadcasted via Zoom. So if you're interested in getting that link, email me directly, text, call, whatever it takes, and get registered for that event so we can provide you with the business plan template and you can join that workshop. But a couple things to think about. The market has shifted, right? So in my coaching, what we talk about is evaluating that business and saying, hey, what are some things that I'm already doing at a good level and is producing good return on my investment, my time? What do I need to do to increase that and make it even better? Really kind of move that needle, if you will. And the second thing we want to look at is what are some of the things that maybe I'm doing, maybe some marketing initiatives, different things that I'm doing that really haven't panned out. Maybe I'm not consistent with it. Maybe I've been consistent, I'm just not seeing the results. Like, what is the return on the investment? And is it something that we can continue to do and simply just improve upon how we're doing it? Or is it something we need to eliminate? And then the last thing we want to look at is like, what are the things that I just need to be done with, right? Like the time suckers, the things that really just drag you down. Is it, checking into social media during the middle of the day, all day long, right? Go on Facebook, go on Instagram and look at the little things that says how much time. You can go to your settings, I believe it is, and say how much time I'm actually spending on social media. Sometimes that can be a little eye-opening. And then when we're going to talk about kind of, so we go through that little exercise of evaluating each of our pillars or our sources of business, and what do we need to improve upon? What do we need to do, more of? What do we need to do less of? And what do we need to do eliminate, right? Those are kind of the foundations there. Then reverse engineer. Like, how much do you want to make next year? How much do you need to make next year? And then if you have a history of sales, I usually like to go back 24 months and say, hey, I've done 45 transactions in the last 2 years. You add all those sales up, it's $22 million in volume. 45 sales divided by 22 million. There's your average sales price, right? Then you take your average sales price and multiply it whatever the prevailing, brokerage commission is in your marketplace. I generally kind of go across from what we see in our market. It's about 2.5%. Do we get 3 on some deals as a one side? Yes. Do we get 2 on some? Yes. But if I use 2.5, that's a good kind of in the middle. So you take the prevailing brokerage rate in your marketplace, multiply that by, let me start over. So we have our average sales price, right? Our prevailing brokerage rate that we get, or what you get, right? And then how much do you want to make? I want to make $200,000 next year. Well, at $400,000 times 2.5%, that's a $10,000 gross commission. So I would need to do 20 transactions to have a gross commission of $200,000, right? Or If you're on a split with your brokerage or you minus fees, and you want to say, hey, I want to retain 200,000, then you're going to take that number, divide it by whatever your split is, and you're going to come up with that number. That'll tell you how many transactions you need to do. Now we know how many transactions we need to do. Now we want to look at each of our pillars or our sources, if you will, and really figure out, like, what can I expect from my past clients in my sphere next year? What am I doing to stay top of mind with those folks? Like, what do I need to do better on my online lead generation? Hey, was this platform working and this one wasn't? I need to really engage and have a better speed to lead. I need to have a better lead flow. So once the lead comes in, by default, I have a plan on how many touch attempts over X amount of time. They go into long-term follow-up, long-term nurture, etc. So analyzing each of those. So now that we've kind of got the fundamentals of what we want to do. Now, if you're a newer agent and you really don't have a sales history per se, then you're just going to take the average sales price of the area, right? I believe here in our Las Vegas market, I was looking at statistics yesterday, we're at about $415,000 average sales price across the board. So maybe take the average sales price of the area times 2.5%. That gives you the average what your brokerage commission would be on gross, minus your split. There's your retained commission, and do the math from there, okay? So if you're not planning, that means you're planning to fail, right? In this market that we're in, I'm going to tell you now, there's a great quote I heard from Warren Buffett. Says, in a hot market or hot industry, it breeds complacency and poor skill sets. We've been in that market in real estate for the last, 3 to 5 years, really, right? Maybe even a little bit longer than that, like 2017-ish, started moving forward. In a shifting or, down market, which I don't believe our market's down, we're definitely in a shifting and normalizing market, that commands skills. It commands you to be exceptionally good at what you do. And if you do that, that's going to give you that degree of separation between you and everybody else in the marketplace. So that's my quick tip for Wednesday. Again, if you'd like to join my business plan workshop, reach out to me directly, message me, comment. We'll get you the info that you need. Have a great Wednesday, and as always, I'm hoping to deliver value for everybody. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Talk to you soon.